I founded last year in September a Web3 protocol called DIGITALAX, and it's at the intersection of fashion, NFTs, DeFi, and it really started as a NFT marketplace that allowed digital fashion designers to come on and list their designs as NFTs. And this was before a lot of the rush, so it was definitely kind of a precursor leading up to that. And so we started like that, and we held auctions and sales in our marketplace, and they did really well. But the next stage was always about how could you actually create an ecosystem for the fashion industry to exist within a native Web3 environment, and with a particular focus on digital fashion. Because when we think a lot about the metaverse or the future, a lot of us really equate that with being much more virtually immersive, digitally ubiquitous, and having these kind of purely online identities. And so from that side, when you think about kind of, well, what is digital fashion? Well, it becomes very much a tool within that scenario that we're able to self-express, we're able to identify and define ourselves. And also, fashion itself is really a part of human nature and so intrinsic to that, and one of the reasons why I went into it in the first place. But yeah, really about how do you allow decentralized commerce for the fashion industry. And so within our ecosystem umbrella, we do that in a number of ways. I mentioned the NFT marketplace and designers being able to auction and sell their digital fashion items as NFTs. That's really above the surface. But if we go deeper, it's also about how do you attach utility to digital fashion, which is a really important part, not just of kind of underwriting value behind an NFT or a digital asset, but particularly in fashion when you think about there being more of a tangible nature to how we can interact with it. So our platform allows, when these designers list these digital fashion items, for players to actually come on and purchase these NFTs and then spawn them under different game environments that are not Web3 native. So we actually did our first launch with Among Us and mods under that ecosystem a few months ago. We just launched with Minecraft about 2 weeks ago, and we have a Roblox Obbies launch coming up in about another week and a half. So it's under this platform called Espa, which is a casual esports platform. And as I said, it allows, and entirely built by us and Web3 native, and allows players to come on and purchase these NFTs and then spawn them in game and start playing in these casual esports battles in game. And by casual, I mean there's no set times. They can come in and play whenever they like. And then they can start accruing points in a leaderboard that actually then transfer and equate to Mona, which is our ecosystem's native cryptocurrency. And then they can actually start earning an income stream and pay out from that. So it's a whole ecosystem between designers, developers, and modders, where the profits from the sales on the marketplace actually get split between these three stakeholders. So that's one really big part of it, and really the utility side of the fashion. We also have a hybrid digital physical NFT fashion line, and that's very much focused on the supply chain side. How do you actually streamline a transparent and authentic supply chain between the digital and physical realms? And what does that look like from more of an open source licensing perspective? So there's that side. And then we also launched the very first, last month actually, Metaverse Magazine. It's all about proving out a new decentralized subscription model, but very much how do you actually establish highly concentrated content and valuable content within the space across digital fashion, across the metaverse, Web3, DeFi, music, art, everything really that we're building and underwriting in. And how do you back that by, instead of an ad wall, actually decentralized unlockable subscription content, where instead of kind of artists or interviewees, having to pay for a feature in the magazine, they're actually able to contribute content as NFTs. That could be in form of an audio NFT, it could be a gaming utility NFT, fashion, anything that you can think of, into these unlockable content bundles that then the magazine itself is entirely free to read, but our readers can actually purchase additional content that then unlocks different pages and experiences from that. So that's probably 60% of what we're doing, but I'll stop there because it's a lot. But it's really about how do you, if I break it down a bit more, it's really about how do you serve the needs of people, and at the same time do that in a way that onboards them into Web3 to reduce friction, to reduce barriers, to reduce gatekeepers. And fashion and the metaverse is a really interesting way to do that, because as we know with DeFi, there is quite an educational gap for people getting in. But fashion is the medium, the object, the interface that people can really tangibly see how it's able to level them up and reduce those barriers.